happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. So we got another huge update. I know you guys can probably already tell it's going down by the title, guys. We got an explosion on the set box. This is the 5. We're now seeing host Jessica Tarlov losing it once again. It seems like that Trump derangement syndrome is too strong for her body, guys. It's taken over, and she is no longer living in the same world or reality that we are, guys. Excited to get in this. We're gonna hop straight into it. Just make sure you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button. Before we get into it, guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Without further ado, let's jump into it, you guys.
Well, clearly her team believes that there is a risk to sending her out there and having her answer questions, that the downside is too great. And that's why they think that probably the less you see of Kamala, the more you're going to like her. But in the end, we've only got 81 days left. Yeah. And next week is all scripted. She may sit down and give an interview after that. And then there's the debate. And my concern is that she's not confident enough, her team is not confident enough to answer any questions. The woman is vice president of the United States of America. What is she afraid of? What is her team afraid of? This is like Joe Biden #2. I mean, not only is she his co-pilot, but they're bubble wrapping her. They may not be keeping her in the basement, but it's the same thing. And they're interviewing each other instead of, talking to the American people about things we're worried about. He's talking about his favorite spices. Americans are trying to afford those spices. The absurdity of it all is so disappointing, but at the same time, it speaks to where we are. I think a lot of young people now are not even concerned with a long-form interview. They take their phone and they just scroll and they look for the meme or they look for the whatever it is on Instagram, and that's how they get their news. They're not going to sit down for the long form anyway.
Yeah, and some of her supporters are arguing, Jessica, that it doesn't really matter. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to answer questions of anyone. What are they? Trump goes out, he talks to CBS, talks to ABC, talks to NBC, goes on all these different things. He doesn't care when people throw questions at him, and he's willing to face them. I don't understand, as the judge says, she's the vice president of the United States. I mean, she's a smart woman. Go answer the questions. What's so hard?
Well, Trump doesn't actually dialogue with anyone in a way that exposes any details of his plans.
Guys, excuse me? She did not just start off by saying Trump doesn't actually dialogue or detail any of his. That's all the man does, is tell you what he's going to do and how he's going to do it for you. I mean, come on. He makes it sound so good. Like, that's what I mean by that Trump derangement syndrome right there, guys. And it's sad to see, like, people think I'm playing when I say that Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. It's alive. But guys, I've seen this firsthand, like with family members even, you try to ration with them, they come and they'll press you on issues, and then you come and you give them the facts. You deliver, the way Biden and Harris have destroyed our country, and they just don't see it, guys. They only see that Trump is the big bad orange guy. Right here, what is Jessica Tarlov even talking about, guys? Listen to her. She starts off with that.
She's a smart woman. Go answer the questions. What's so hard?
Well, Trump doesn't actually dialogue with anyone in a way that exposes any details of his plans. He says, I'm going to deport them all. And no one follows up and said, well, how are you actually going to round up those millions of people?
That's not true.
Yes,
he's done CNN. He's done all kinds of, he's done pretty much every outlet.
Uh-oh, guys, here comes the fight. Jessica Tarlov I think she's in over her britches for sure. I don't understand why she does this, especially with Judge Jeanine sitting to the right of her. Guys, she's ready to heat her up. I don't know what's going over to the left to her right now, but Judge Jeanine's about to get after her, because what is she even talking about? Donald Trump is the guy who is so transparent, front facing. You can see exactly what what his agenda is, what he stands for, versus Kamala Harris, that Harris, Walls campaign. Complete opposite, guys. We can see that they're closed off, can't even get an interview. They're hiding what they actually stand for, and they're still in policies. Like, we don't know who you truly are. Like, come on. This is more of that coping we're seeing right now. I think she's coping at this point. Look at her face, guys.
Those millions of people.
That's not true.
Yes,
he's done CNN. He's done all kinds of. He's done pretty much every outlet. Name an outlet he hasn't gone to and answered questions.
He calls these press conferences, and he rants for upwards of an hour.
And then he takes.
Guys, what about the NABJ conference that Kamala Harris, mind you, did not even show up, failed to even appear via Zoom? She was supposed to be there with Donald Trump. You don't remember Rachel Scott absolutely coming after, trying to grill Donald Trump, and then him straight up backing every single point, letting him know what he said and what he's like. Donald Trump does these sit downs. He's done almost every single network. I'm not sure where Jessica Tarlov has been at. He's even been doing the left wing media outlets. I'm not sure where she's at. She must just be out of loop completely. Like, what's going on in her head? No way.
Calls these press conferences and he rants for upwards of an hour.
And then he takes questions.
But he doesn't answer them in any sort.
Well, that's up to the American people to decide.
Exactly.
At least
or the press.
the question.
Or the press, but he's doing
the
it.
point about what Kamala is doing is that we have 81 days left. She will absolutely be sitting down, but she doesn't need to do it right now. Her supporters are not upset about it. Even people who are in the middle are not upset about it. She's giving speeches.
Guys, they're sorry. These guys are okay, and what she's saying right now is, and if you are one of those folks, I'm glad you're tuned in right now, so I can let you know what. I'm going to paraphrase what she's saying for you. She's saying that basically the folks on the left and in the middle are okay with just blindly tossing their vote away, just tossing their vote to Kamala Harris without her, any accountability, and expose any of her policies. She's not putting anything out there for the people. She's just simply saying, hey, give me the vote now, and I'll let you know the policy later. Like, how does that even sound, guys? Coming from me, I know you guys are like, what? Give me the policy? No way.
Not upset about it. Even people who are in the middle are not upset about it. She's giving speeches. She's telling people what she stands for. And that video with Governor Walz.
Guys, she is not giving. Oh my, that really gets underneath my skin. She's not giving these speeches. It's teleprompted, guys. This is all she's just reading. She's got a paper. I think I've seen not the last video, but the video before last. One of her scripts literally fell down off the podium when she got nervous. Like, Kamala Harris is not doing this organically. There is nothing coming out that is truly from her or the heart. This is all scripted and planned, guys, and you can see it right here.
She's telling people what she stands for. And that video with Governor Walz was charming. They were getting to know it. Well, it might not be to you, but to millions of people it would. Because we wouldn't have this kind of election right now where Kamala Harris is trending this way and Donald Trump is trending this way.
She's in denial, guys. They really think that Kamala Harris is trending up. And guys, have we seen the turn? Did you guys see my last video? There was only 100 people. Not even, I think it was 50 folks. I'm giving her too much credit. There was only 50 folks that are showing up to these rallies. I mean, the support is dwindling off. It's because she's not able to keep up, keep hiring her campaign. She needs an exorbitant amount of donations. She's going to have to almost use half her funding to go into celebrity endorsements just to keep up the hype of her campaign, guys. Without these celebrities on her trail, she is not able to bring in people. I don't know where Jessica Tarlov is getting these stats from, saying that Donald Trump is on. Come on, guys. Like, what's going on. I mean, this is more them trying to paint that picture. And then when November 5th comes, it's like, oh, I don't know how Donald Trump won. Guys, we've seen this all coming, just like what we've seen with Joe Biden when they were like, oh, I don't know what happened. Why they pulled Joe Biden? Like, guys, we've seen this coming. What is she talking about?
Of election right now where Kamala Harris is trending this way and Donald Trump is trending this way. If what they're doing wasn't working, wherever you get your polls, 538, Real Clear, The Economist, The Cook Political Report, any of it, Kamala Harris is trending in the right direction.
Well, that's
true. Because of her approach to this. And so if it's not
broke, don't fix it. And
well,
I get that.
That works.
But Joey, what I'm more worried about really is what the judge said, that people don't really care, that they're happy with, a TikTok meme version of someone, and then they're going to go in and vote for that.
That's the absolute fear I have every day. I don't know where people are on issues. I can tell you this, Kamala Harris has a run against Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And that's going to be really hard to do. And the more questions she answers, the harder it gets to do that because she has been his vice president. So how do you do that? You do it by embracing Trump's ideas like child tax credit, no taxing tips. You do it by ignoring your own progressive legacy. And you do it by continuing to court the far left progressives with whatever red meat you can put out there. One of those pieces of red meat is someone like Tim Walz, who cloaks himself in this fake Midwestern conservative personality while putting tampons in boys' bathrooms, calling the censor of the First Amendment, allowing riots, but jailing business owners a few months later during COVID. I was going to really make fun of him because I think about that movie, The Campaign, where Zach Galifianakis gets turned into the perfect candidate. But as soon as you take a look at him, you see, like, they even take his dogs away and give him better dogs. And I was going to be like, a very generic scout name, but then you said that was your dog's name, so I couldn't say that. But that's what he is. I mean, they're trying to paint him as this perfect Midwesterner when he's nothing less than a liar. And you know what? I saved my words on him for weeks until I saw a video of him on the House Veterans Affairs Committee, one that I served on with him as a staffer, looking at Gold Star families and saying, when they come back from war like I came back, without the mental health assets or resources they need. Bro, you were on a deployment in southern Italy. Put me on that deployment. What are you talking about? What was your mental?
This is the point that we're talking about, where Jessica Tarlov is trying to say that interview, that sit down with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz was charming, guys, where they were just trying to do a big old clean old job. People haven't forgot this, where he's saying that he was mentally affected by war, the war zone. People haven't been where I've been or seen the things I've seen or done the things I've done for this country. Is basically what he was trying to say, guys. We are not going to let that go because he done it intentionally trying to steal the shine from our servicemen and women who actually did serve and fight for protect the freedoms of our country. I mean, like, come on, we're not dropping it, Tim. We don't care how many years you serve. We're still going to drive the point home to say that you lied. You had to lie in order to get some type of credit or more acknowledgement about your service. Come on now, Tim.
Italy. Put me on that deployment. What are you talking about? What was your mental health needs coming back from southern Italy? I'm not saying there weren't any, but maybe answer some questions on that, because you looked at a Gold Star family and tried to put yourself in their sons and daughters' shoes. That's what kind of person you are. That's who she picked to go with her, not because of any ability to make good decisions. Here's the deal. Jessica and I were talking about this in the green room a little bit. President Trump is not going to say things that make you feel good. He's not going to say things that make you feel heard and seen, but he might not send your son to war for no good reason. He might not bankrupt your business for no good reason. He might get the cost of energy down. He might not need to give you a fake $25,000 to go buy a house so that everybody else can outbid you, and now the cost of housing goes up. He might not say the only way to bring down the cost of groceries is to take over the food industry. He might say $2 diesel does a lot to take care of the price of groceries. So I don't care what he says about the Medal of Freedom or the Medal of Honor. I don't care what words are taken out of context or even left in context. He can be a rotten human being for all I care. Do the policies that work that you did the first time around, and you have my vote. I have no idea if the rest of America is on board with that.
But you do know that their plans have been evaluated and Trump's is more inflationary. Moody's didn't.
My guys, we're literally, it's going to literally get under my skin now. I'm going to have to cut it off. Jessica, when I heard her start talking again, I thought we were saved. I thought this was the end of, no, she's back at it again, guys. And she's saying that Trump's policies, Trump's administration, his term was more inflationary than what we've seen with, come on, Joe Biden. We're living through it right now. And I can tell you right now, when I was going and looking for a house back then, it was almost, well, right now, it's almost 4 times the cost of what it was back then. I'll say that right now. And as for the grocery store, I'm over it. If it was back then, I'm getting almost 3 times. I'm spending 3 times as much as what I was spending back then. Same for the gas station. I mean, like, the list goes on. You can't make this type of stuff up and just expect the American people to go along with it. You can lie about they will do this or they will do that. But when you try to say they have done, we can see what they have done, and what they've done, and they've drove inflation through. Our economy's shot because of Bidenomics. I could barely say it, guys. It's so evil. Bidenomics. Like, come on, guys. Get it out of here. Listen to her. Listen.
Their plans have been evaluated, and Trump's is more inflationary. Moody's did that. Trump know that
Trump
the
spent
GDP
the money
is
after
better
COVID.
under
I've
Biden.
criticized him for that, but there's
that
no
you
way
said, look at the
Kamala
bottom.
The
Harris.
last Trump plan put $1,500 back in every middle-class family's pocket with the tax cuts. But Greg, we want to make sure we get you in.
Sure. Well, just remember, the same people who told America that Joe was sharp as a tack are now telling you that Kamala is sharp as a tack.
And this is why I love Greg right here. Greg Gutfeld always comes in the first point. The same folks, and it's true. The same folks who were trying to say it a lot. Heck, Kamala Harris was sitting side by side as Joe's co-pilot, partner in crime, his sidekick the entire time. The entire time as president, she's done nothing. What has she done? But add to the problem, guys. Leaving the border wide open. I mean, non-addressment. Not even whispering in this guy Joe Biden's ear that Bidenomics isn't actually working for the American folk. I mean, like, come on. The list goes on. Greg Gutfeld hitting that nail right on the head every single time. Every time. Off the rip.
Was sharp as attack are now telling you that Kamala is sharp as attack. So remember that. Kamala's approach right now is a calculated retreat because she prefers and her campaign prefers that she live in the world of the first impression because it's the basket case theory. The more you know about her, the less you want to know about her. And I'm telling you, watch that again. She is not a confident candidate. It's true. And you're right. Waltz is the more you know about him, you realize they did not vet this guy.
Yep.
I mean, his campaign cover-up of his horrible DUI is, what did I say?
DEI. Little obsessed.
Same thing.
Same.
If that's not disqualifying, I don't know what is. He actually exploited his military background to cover up his crime. He said it was related to his service and that he actually wasn't drunk. He just misheard the instructions and the drunk test. He blew a super high level. It was like, 0.2, driving 100 miles an hour. And then when he's running for office, he said that he wasn't drunk. I mean, this guy has...
Guys, you're hearing it here. Guys, you're hearing all the points. I don't know how this guy got selected in as the VP. Guys, those Biden advisors must have still been in the corner of Kamala Harris when they were making the decision on who to be the vice president, her running mate, because this guy should have never made the cut, especially after what we've seen he done in Minnesota. Like, come on, guys. Not even the left can stand for this. I don't know.
For office, he said that he wasn't drunk. I mean, this guy has creep written all over it. He created a snitch line, but lies about his personal infractions. He doesn't even own up to it. This is a guy who pushes a hoax about a sex on a couch, and then the closer you look at him, he's a creepy cuck.
What?
That's it.
You're too. I'll tell you in the
Yo, there we have it, guys. Greg Gutfeld absolutely landed on thick there at the end on Tim Walz. He's not sparing any words, and I mean, rightfully so. You can see the frustration starting to get to a lot of people behind this guy, Tim Walz. The Kamala Harris campaign. They're trying to, boost this guy up, paint this picture to say that he is someone that he truly is not, the perfect Midwesterner. But we can see this guy is just a far left radical, just like Kamala Harris. Seeing what he done, the destruction of Minnesota, like we've seen, arresting business owners and allowing protesters to riot and loot, leading to the destruction of Minnesota. I'm trying to figure out what Jessica Tarlov is seeing here in this segment, where she is saying that it's not Kamala Harris, it's not Tim Walz that's the problem. It's actually Donald Trump. He's the problem, guys, not the fact that Kamala Harris didn't sit down for 28 days, do an interview, and then out of nowhere, she does an interview, sits down with her VP, her running mate, and they sit down, talk about absolutely nothing at all, a bunch of fluff. She's saying that it was charming the way that they danced around, talked about no policies their administration going to stand for, but, the favorite color of Tim Walz, his favorite spices, I mean, you name it, they were talking about, except policy. This is all too much. I'm just not sure what reality these folks live in. The picture they're trying to paint just is unreal. Guys, hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Jessica Tarlov, too far gone for any saving. It just seems like that Trump derangement syndrome taking over her body to the point of no recovery. Hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy more content like this. I'll catch you guys on the next week.